do believe we have the winner's interview going forward. If I'm not mistaken, we have both Talon and Yodacious in. Folks, how are you doing tonight? Mercy.
Feeling
We're feeling
good.
good.
That was
Oh,
fun.
it looked like a ton of fun, Yoda. That was an incredible set. I mean, we were just talking about it here in that last game. I mean, game number 3 was a slaughter. Let's be real. It was a slaughter in game number 3. You guys had it 100%. Game number 2, back and forth. There were definitely chances that maybe VBU was able to take the game, but Darth Kylo Ryan doing really well in the mid game. I want to get to game number 1. I mean, that is the game on everyone's mind. I mean, what's going through your mind when you're getting hit at your nexus and your inhibitor respawns?
Well, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen in all of League of Legends. That was such a beautiful moment because we all thought it was over. I mean, we were calling out how to fight it back and how to win this, and then the inhib respond. It was like, wow, it was a savior. That was the difference right there.
Like them taking that inhibit 20 minutes, we were like, okay, this is fine. We can survive this, and now we can just free farm it right into Kale. She'll be able to just get up to 16 as quickly as possible. We can outscale. We just need time, and that's basically what we were able to buy is enough time to turn it.
It was Kendo. Go ahead.
Let's talk about Sirius for why it claimed that was going to be their last play of the split here.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little bit of insight of what's going on through the head there, and maybe a little bit of praise for the top laner coming in substitute circumstance and making quite possibly the most amazing moment I've seen in my personal league career.
Yeah, Sirius was our mid laner last season. But he had his work schedule be changed. So that's why he's actually leaving, is because he won't be able to sub for games anymore. So he's like, yeah, I want to get one more game in, either mid or top. And Daze was like, all right, play top. And it was in draft, it was either Aurelia or Kale. And if we had taken Aurelia, that may have been a very different game. But the Kale with the insurance scaling was exactly what we needed.
Yeah, and I'll say that Sirius is a very hot and cold player. Like either he pops off or he tilts off the planet, and he was working his way towards the edge of the planet in that early game, and we just tried to keep him focused, keep him on task, and he said, like, just give me the mid lane supers and everyone stay the F away from me so that I can get the experience. Don't leech my XP. And we're like, yeah, okay, we're gonna stay away from you, Sirius. You got it. We got
it.
And and then that last play, the last play when it was down to 3v2 or 3v3, I was full health and my teammates were low. I just shouted, I'm going ham, and I jumped in and tanked so that they could clean it up. It was so beautiful.
It was a beautiful thing to watch, and I'm gonna be so pumped to actually see that game again. Like it was a phenomenal outing here in the Light League. I mean, honestly, at this point, probably the most exciting Light League game that we have seen in the league. So shout out to VBU Neon as well for really, bringing it to you. That game could have gone their way, and for all accounts, should have gone their way.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I want to talk about your guys' bottom lane synergy. Talon, Yoda, I mean, you guys had some amazing combinations together. Talon, you saved Yoda on a number of occasions, especially in game 2, being sure that Yoda was able to be deathless in game 2. I mean, what makes you guys such a formidable bottom lane?
We've played 2 straight seasons, plus like we had like a good month and a half, 2 months of practice together. We try to duo together when we can. And I have to say, like, Talon is just like every week gets a little bit better. Like he's just like you could see in the series today, he's so patient. He waits for his moments, and the moment they overstep, it's just It's a thing of beauty. It's really fun to play together. We're very calm. We just call out who we're hitting, and I follow his lead. It's great.
Yeah, I think as well, we really balance each other's play styles. I'm definitely a bit more of a scaredy cat and not wanting to take aggression, whereas Yoda, on the other hand, is like, yeah, let's go, let's kill them. So I think that kind of really balance each other out in that
Yeah.
way, and we're able to, when we're behind, we can play behind. When we're ahead, we can play ahead. Like that third game, right? It was like, okay, we gotta kill. After that, okay, it's free. Like I'm on my comfort of Nautilus, who's my main. Like I know I can hit those hooks, so I'm just gonna go for it. We're just gonna go for it. He's playing Triss. Like it's such a free lane after that point, and yeah.
I
Yeah, and
also
I
want.
also have. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I have to shout out our jungler who calls the opposing junglers locations all the time, so that we know when
Yes.
we can go in and know when we have to back off. Like he saves our butt a lot in bot lane.
Yeah, there's
So
been
it's
times
nice.
where we're like, oh, let's go, and then jungle just walks out as soon as I hit Q. It's like, okay, we're dead.
I do want to compliment you guys because it seemed like the drafting was done very smart as well. Both you, Yoda, and Forgotten Turtle, very proficient on Tristana, both in league play and outside of league play. Y'all seem to take the priorities of games 1 and 3 to heart, and the ban phase immediately taking the Forgotten Turtles Tristana away. Was that the major portion of the game plan for game number 2 or throughout the night? Or did you have a couple other things that you wouldn't mind revealing?
Oh, we
I don't even-
always know that we're gonna beat the enemy bot laner, but we always know that.
I
But,
think
yeah.
the Trist ban game too was really because we're like, okay, we're gonna play strong side top. What do we need to ban away that can be a problem? And that Tristana was going to be the worst for a Sivir or a Lulu and whatever ADC we decide to pair with it. So okay, just get the Tristana out. We don't want to have to deal with that. We can deal with like a Nautilus or a Leona, but with a Tristana paired with that, like that's just feels really bad. And when they showed the Seraphine, we were like, okay, pretty even lane with the Lulu. And then they flexed it mid and went to Braum. And as soon as they picked the Braum, I was like, okay, we're fine. Braum can't do anything to us in that lane. So
Yeah, Talon and our coach Zonky run our drafts together, and they pretty much draft diff every single game. And if we lose, it's just because we suck as individuals. But the draft always goes well.
yeah.
Oh man. So I gotta ask you guys, because we're moving into the final 3 weeks of the split. You guys are guaranteed 3 wins in a week 8 bye, which is massive for you guys. Looking at the standings now, I mean, you guys are 2 games behind Degenerates, 3 games, just 1 set behind Grin Reapers, potentially go for that second seed. If you guys continue to keep up with this pace, the playoff picture and your position in it is all but secured. I mean, what is your guys's, without revealing anything, what is your guys' strategy? Do you guys have any thoughts about the playoffs yet, or are you just taking it week by week?
Oh, week by week for sure. Yeah. I think as a team, we're very focused on what's our weakest thing? Okay, let's deal with that. What's our strongest thing? Let's practice that. And I think one of our major focus this season has just been consistency. Because the last season we were very off and on in terms of consistency.
But we also know, like last season, we snuck into playoffs, and we know we can put on a run as long as we make it. So obviously, the end goal is we really just want to make the playoffs. It doesn't matter so much what seed we are, but obviously, we want to secure it as solidly as possible. So it's not like we're trying to sneak in again. We're definitely got our sights on trying to get as high a seed as possible. But yeah, all that really matters is making playoffs, and then we can make a run.
There you go. And I mean, you guys are looking really good, depending on the game between Central Sentinels and Team Ambition Golden Age. You guys could be anywhere between 3 to 4 games in the lead for 6th place, feeling really comfortable about your position in playoffs. Your next week, is going to be up against CV Stonk Squad. But I want to jump to week 9. I want to jump up against your game against DA Obsidian. I feel like that is going to be probably the most intense matchup that you guys are going to have this split, and it's your last week. I mean, you guys have to be pumped for your last 3 weeks of games.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw, I believe it was VBU actually that took a game off of Obsidian, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, they're not invincible. We can beat these guys, and with us 3-0ing VBU, that makes it even more confidence in my mind of like, okay, we can definitely take a game, maybe two, who knows, maybe we take three. But I think we can definitely match up against DAO in a pretty solid way.
Man, Kendo, any final thoughts? Any final questions for our bot lane from CDU?
Just take us into next week, because you do end up on stream once again. Gonna be going up against the CB Stonk squad. I don't want to get too far into strategies, but is there anything going into it that you'd be willing to reveal? Be like, hey, this is what we have to do against this stonky squad.
I haven't even
mean,
looked at
as-
them.
Oh, okay.
I just focus not in a bad way. I mean, but I just focus on the team that we're facing next week, right? So all this
Yeah.
week we've been focused on VBU.
I mean,
haven't
we
even
know that
bothered.
as long as Days shows up ready to play, he can carry us to win.
True,
win
yeah.
every single game. So we're not
Yeah.
worried.
No, I'm not trying to bash them at all. I'm just saying I haven't even looked at their team or looked at their, what their comfort picks are or anything. So I have no idea what the strategy will be. I was just focused on VBU for the week.
For sure, for sure. All right, Talon, Yodacious, any final thoughts before we let you guys go?
No.
I do want to give a quick
Shoutouts.
shout out to our mid laner as well. In that game one, went 1-11 and still just like did his job and won us every team fight. As a
Yeah, he was
1-11
literally
mid
like,
laner.
"Okay, I'm just
It was
ulting
pretty
Echo
nice.
every single time."
It was clean.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, well, thank you guys so much. That is the bottom lane for Capedogs Unleashed, Talon and Yodacious off the backs of a 3-0 sweep against VBU Neon. We thank you guys so much for stopping by. Congratulations on the great win.
Awesome. Thank you so much
Thanks
for
so
having us.
much.
Yeah, so Kendo, I mean, week number 6 now, pretty much in the books. I mean, a lot of these games looking like they are pretty much confirmed. We can kind of go into the post-game submission, see where things are at right now. It looks like it is still game number 3 between DAO and the Grin Reapers, still on a line.
Lose, however, and Grin Reapers put themselves in a tie for first place. Well, I mean, we'll just put it this way, Moosh. You can feel validated in the in your power rankings. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. I'm gonna be on my edge of my seat in the light post game submission for the rest of the night until we do find out. So there may be some AM grind consumed while we're waiting for that.
Oh, man, and we will find out very, very soon. I mean, that set is phenomenal. And, really, I mean, a great, great week here in the Light League, folks. The big picture, the big thing that now we got to look at, Kendo, is the spot for 6th place. It's looking like there's going to be potentially a 5-game or a 4-way tie between Team Ambition Golden Age, VBU Neon, CB Stonk Squad, and Central Sentinels moving into week 7. This is a very heated battle for that 6th spot in the playoffs, and it is still anyone's game. But at this point, DA Obsidian, they have confirmed their playoff spot. Grin Reapers confirmed their playoff spot.
Yeah, and now a Team Ambition Golden Age looking to prove that they are worthy of putting themselves in opportune circumstances. Of course, they are going up against Central Sentinels, and if they pull off the series sweep, they're already 2-0. They will create what is you may as well call it chaos at the bubble, because it's going to be everybody all tied neck and neck. 3 weeks to show off their stuff and see who makes it in.
Yeah, and it is going to be a phenomenal week 7 for sure. And that is going to be between CB Stonk Squad and Capedogs Unleash. But that is going to do it today for week number 6 here at the XLNC Light League. My name is Mr. Moose. You can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Moosecasts. Yeah, I've also joined here on the mic by Kendo Slice. You can follow him on Twitter at Kendo with a 0 slice, if I'm correct. Correct?
Yeah, correct.
Perfect. Yep. And then, of course, thank you to our producer, J Dog, and to be able to make sure that all of our observing needs are coming through. And a shout out, as always, to XLNC. If you guys want to, you guys can provide a $2 Patreon feed coming through if you want to make that happen. And, of course, our sponsor, AM Grind, 10% off your order with the promo code XLNC at the door at checkout to be able to get that discounted coffee. But man, week number 6 in the books. On behalf of everyone who I just mentioned, and our players, and the staff here at the Light League, my name is Mr. Moose. What, Kendo? What?
Team Ambition Golden Age ended up losing, so we will not get the full-on tie. That literally just came in. Leche, able to put that in the post-game submission. So we have a little bit of an answer, but the answer is good night, everybody. Hope to have a wonderful time. We'll see you next week.